He
Oops.
shaved it.
You haven't
Yeah.
you haven't been in my stream in a while?
Bro, I haven't done anything in
He's
a
an
long
imposter.
time.
Yeah, I did shave.
That's not Danie. That's why there was an oops. Danie wouldn't make an oops.
No, Danie makes lots of oops. It doesn't matter if Danie has a beard or not. I make lots of oops. And literally, the oops was me not hitting the right button that did all sorts of automatic stuff for us.
You want to know why you missed that button? Because your weight distribution's thrown off. Because gloriousness weighs about 7 pounds and it's gone. So your whole weight distribution is just thrown off.
You know, I'm gonna start making it a rule that anytime anyone mentions that I shaved, I'm going to shave again.
But what if you don't have any? I mean, what the fuck you gonna shave?
You know what? If at first it's gonna be my face, but if it's within a 24-hour period, I'll just start shaving my legs. I'm a hairy man.
Threaten me with a good time.
I've also got a ton of hair on my chest I can get shaved. Probably some hair on my back.
There's some pretty glorious locks up there that seem really well styled that could go.
You leave my hair out of this. Hello and welcome to Next to Nothing, a podcast for gamers on a budget. I'm your host, Danie K. Yes, I shaved. Get over it. With me, as always, the wonderful, the beautiful, the Mr. Green Elite. How you doing, Green?
I will never get over it. Okay, I will never ever get over it. But I'm doing good. How are you doing, Danie?
I'm doing fantastic. With us, 99.9% of the time, it's the powerful, the beautiful, the Revs fan, Padre. How you doing? I almost got your nickname mixed up.
I have so many nicknames now. I'm with it. There's Padre, there's Rev, there's Daddy, there's Big Dick Dudley. It's just, I mean, I've got all the nicknames on lock now, so you call me whatever you want. But I'm doing well, friend.
Excellent. If this is your guys' first time with us here at Next to Nothing, we appreciate you for watching and listening. If you guys get any value out of the show, maybe subscribe, follow us, all that good stuff. If you guys miss any part of the show this week, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts, everywhere podcasts are found. Every week we have a question of the week, and you guys can let us know your answer either in the live chat or in the comments, or you can even tweet at us. Our handles are on the screen. This week, our question is strawberry grape jelly for your PB&Js. Nice and simple. Strawberry or grape jelly for your PB&Js.
Good one. I like that.
Yeah. I want to see some real fights because I'm going to be real honest. It's strawberry or nothing. Everything else is trash.
I like how 100%. His mic cut. Wait, did his mic cut out for anybody else?
Yeah, it cut out for me as well.
Yeah, see, that's called karma. It's called not diversifying. That's what you get for being so closed-minded, Danie.
I mean, strawberry is the superior jelly.
Strawberry is, I'm just gonna say it's strawberry supremacy up in here.
You know, I actually. So fun fact, I don't think I've ever had strawberry jelly. I've only ever had strawberry jam. I don't even think I've ever seen strawberry jelly in person.
That's a really strangely specific nuance.
Yeah, I've never seen strawberry jelly. I've only seen strawberry jams, and I've never seen a grape jam. I've only ever seen grape jellies. But the cool thing is PB&J could mean either way. So, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so that's our question of the week. You guys can let us know in the live chat, comments, or again, you can tweet at us. Also, real quick, so there's this whole hubbub about, Twitch streamers and chargebacks in the system in which, if you subscribe for, 10 minutes, you can get a refund on Twitch, right? You guys know about this controversy right now. They added a button that said, I am...
Just wanted the shout out.
To cancel my stream, or my subscription. If you guys want a shout out from us, there's a really easy way to do it, and that's just to tweet out the show. Tag me.
Show me your beehole. I'll shout you out.
Okay, so send a picture of your uncleaned asshole to RevsFan.
Yes.
At RevsFan TV on Twitter. And then just include me on a tweet of you sharing the podcast, and I'll shout you out on the show. I'll shout you out on my stream on a regular day. Let's fucking go. You guys want shout outs? That's your way to get it. Anyways, you guys ready? We have a stack show. You guys ready to get into it?
Let's do
Oh,
this
yeah.
thing, man. Let's do this thing.
Let's just get right into it.
Let's just jump right into it. This is one of the rare weeks in which all three of us have a game. So I'm going to start with mine. I just finished up Dishonored last night. It's been a journey. So this is an older game, so a lot of people are going to know about Dishonored. This is kind of a retrospective, how it holds up today. Is it worth buying today instead of is it worth buying in 2012? For those who don't know, Dishonored is a first-person action-adventure game by Bethesda Studios and Arcane Studios. It is available on Windows, PS3, Xbox 360, PS4, and Xbox One. The game focuses on a character named Corvo, a bodyguard to the Empress, and is framed for her murder right away in the game. The story unfolds as you complete assassinations, rescues, and other missions. The game is very linear, with a system called Chaos that determines what ending you get. There are, as far as I'm aware, 3 endings. Basically with Chaos, the more people you kill and the more damage you cause, the more chaos you generate, and the more chaos you generate, the more likely you are to get the bad ending.
The bad by whose standards?
Fair. So this was a game that I picked up a long time ago. And really, it just kind of sat. I think I picked it up during a sale, and it just sort of sat in my Steam library for way too long. And I hadn't really planned on playing it. I had tried to play it a couple times, couldn't get past the second mission. That was just it just didn't grab me, and I never really intended to play it until when my community voted on what I should play in my Discord. So that, with that being said, I don't remember exactly how much I paid for it. I think probably in the neighborhood of $5 USD because I know I picked it up with a bunch of other games. It's currently on Steam for $10 USD. The lowest it's gone on sale for that I found is $2, and it goes on sale quite a bit. For some system requirements, like I said, the game was released in 2012, and that's going to reflect that. It requires Windows 7 or newer, a 3.0 gigahertz dual-core or better processor, 3 gigs of RAM, 9 gigs of disk space, and DirectX 9. So quite a few machines can run this, especially if you have older machines.
Like yours?
Yeah. I mean, my machine, when I built it, was higher mid-end.
Mm.
Now it's low end. But it runs it fine for a game like this. It runs it flawlessly. I had no problems, no stutters, no anything. Worked great. As you guys can see on the screen, artistically and stylistically, the game is great. The world building feels believable. There's a lot of lore here. It's very, very, very lore rich. And one thing that I noticed is that just one general thing I would say is that everything feels like it belongs on the screen. There was never a moment with Dishonored that I'm like, that doesn't feel like it doesn't belong. Like I said before, on a technical aspect, the game feels good. Plays very smoothly. There were a few things like getting caught on geometry and jumping in particular. I always felt like there were like times where I'm like, why the hell did I just drop instead of like jumping forward? Like on chains, I don't know what it was necessarily about like climbing up a chain or a rope or something. But when I did and then like hit jump, it would just drop me down. I'm like, no, I wanted to jump forward from this position, not drop down to my fucking death and break my ankles. So that was pretty frustrating, but otherwise there's not like a ton that's frustrating. The game is very stealth focused, and well, it has a lot of stealth focus, but there's also movement is an integral part of the game, especially in combat. which I will say combat is a lot more nuanced than other RPGs that people would probably lump together with this, like BioShock or Skyrim. There is parrying and blocking, and there's double jumping, and you have certain powers like the blink, which is basically a short range teleportation. So you can use like the blink power to bounce into enemies and like stun them, and as you jump you can bounce and like get to a new place, or like go behind somebody and stab them quick. There's a lot of nuance that goes along with it, which also feels really fucking good. Being honest, when it comes to combat, because I was trying to go for a low chaos ending, I didn't really get a ton of time to really experiment with all the cool shit that you could do in the game. I was trying to be as non-lethal as possible, although that didn't work out, as a lot of people noted. I got there's a clip of me saying, "Oh yeah, I'm trying to go like non-lethal," and then I just fucking shank a dude.
You go, except this.
Yeah. Well, you can see me like last night is when I finished it, and you can I'm like, man, I was really hoping I could go for a low chaos, but like these guys keep catching me, and I'm just gonna murder them all. Like I just want to get done. Right? I just want to be able to review this tomorrow, and thankfully I still got the low chaos ending. I was very worried about like, man, I just got to kill a lot of people here in order to get done with this. So that being said, I did quite a bit of sneaking, and I don't know. The combat for me, I just didn't have enough time to learn it. I watched different people play it, like the thing we have up on screen here, and it's pretty insane watching these guys do like acrobatic teleportation and just like decapitating people and using heads to stun enemies and stuff like that. It's pretty fucking insane. One thing I do know that is that the game has a lot of replayability, and I'm actually really tempted to go back and just play it on my own again. Do something high chaos and just really, see what I can do with the combat, maybe off stream. So that's for me, there's a lot of replayability here. And really the question I think for anyone right now is Dishonored worth playing in 2021? Right? We know that it was worth playing in 2012, but is it worth playing in 2021, especially if you haven't picked it up? And my answer to that question is I certainly think so. This is a good pickup for anyone who's on a bit of an older rig like myself. Maybe that you guys still have your older consoles, your Xbox One, maybe you still have like a PS3 or something like that, and you find it at a bargain bin somewhere. If you do find it, it's certainly worth the pickup. It's also a game that's, like I said, it's $10 USD. This is a great game if you're looking for something to play in a weekend. I think I beat the game in 11 hours, I think. I mean, over a couple, I think I played it in 3. Yeah, I think I beat it in 3 to 4 hour streams. So, high replayability, easy to play, dirt cheap, runs on a lot of stuff. Is it worth playing in 2021? Answer is yes. Pick it up. Thoughts, questions, opinions?
I had one question about the chaos meter.
Yeah.
Is it visible? Is there like a visible chaos meter, or is it kind of like guesswork?
It tells you at the end of every mission.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you'll get like a mission report, and it'll be like your overall chaos is low, your overall chaos is medium or high. Yeah, at the end it'll tell you your overall chaos.
And can you, like, if you go through a mission doing low chaos, can it reduce your meter?
Yeah.
Like if you kind of mess up one mission and it goes up a little high, you can come back and kind of like repair it a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. That way you're not like, if you have like one botched mission or something, you're not just stuck with the high chaos ending. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, which is great. I was afraid, like the last 2-3 missions, I was afraid of how many guys I had to kill. Like there were quite a few guards and assassins that I had to murder. That I'm like, everyone's dead. Yeah, I'm like, shit. Because I'd get caught, and I'm like, I'm not gonna restart this again. This is like the third time I've had to restart this. So yeah, I will say the story is pretty linear, so you'll have to. I mean, there are things to discover, but you're not gonna get like a totally different story every time you play. There's not that many choices. You're just gonna get a different ending. So have that in mind. This isn't like a Fallout or a Skyrim or something with multiple branching stories. It's more of like BioShock, where you're gonna have a selection of endings to go for. So that's Dishonored. At least my review on Dishonored. I am gonna probably pick up the second one at some point. Probably wait for it to go on sale because I think it's still at like $40. So yeah, I'll have to pick it up on a sale at some point. But yeah, that's my Dishonored review. Any other thoughts, opinions, questions?
Not from me.
No, it really seems like it has like like an Infamous feel to it. I don't know if you've ever played that game. I think it's a PlayStation exclusive. Similar in concept where you depending on how you play, you either get a good ending or a bad ending, and it's a solid game. So, and you look like you genuinely enjoyed playing it.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised about how much I did enjoy it because it took me. This was like the third time that I started the game. So it took me a little bit to get into it, but once I dedicated to it, I did thoroughly enjoy it. Green,
Yeah,
you got a game too.
I do. I'm going to be covering PC Building Simulator. This game was actually gifted to me by the one and only Chocolate. But it is on Steam right now for $19.99. It is exactly how it sounds. You're building PCs simulator, where you're running a shop. I believe it's your uncle who doesn't run the shop very well. Constantly forgets to put thermal paste on his CPUs. He disappears. He said he's taking a break from the shop and asks you to essentially take over. So you'll get emails in. You have your own stationary computer. That's like your work computer. You get emails in. You can use the shop and on the computer to buy parts. You get orders in. So someone will email you, "Hey, can you take a look at my PC? This is wrong with it, or I don't know what's wrong with it. Can you diagnose it?" Which you have the option to either reject or accept. Once you accept those jobs, they'll send it to you the next day. So like you leave for the day, you come back, they'll be there waiting for you. All in all, it's a very good like time killer game. I genuinely enjoyed it. It was not overly challenging because I had experience with PC building to begin with. However, like as someone who has never worked with PCs that tries this out might have a little bit of a learning curve to like get used to, but not something that I would foresee you having like severe issues for. There's a tutorial. There's also like a free build mode, and it puts everything out in front for you. As I said, it was a really fun game for a while. I got really tired of it towards like by the time I got to like level 12, because like orders were slowing down coming in, and I think it was really like pushing me to try to switch to the hard mode of the game, which is not something I wanted to do. I just wanted to stick with the normal and play it how I was playing it. My biggest con for this game was, and I don't know if it's like an issue with like the actual game itself, like a glitch or something, but I was getting orders in that were asking for parts for their computer, but it was stuff that I couldn't buy in the shop yet. Even though it was like, let's say the build requirements like level 12, but it's parts I can't get until I'm like level 14, and stuff like that. It's a full spread. You can build a PC from the ground up, selecting cases, CPUs, motherboards. That gives you a whole bunch of options. Not so much when you first start out, but as you progressively level up, it'll um, continue giving you like brand options as well. One thing I was really surprised about is there is a lot of actual name brand products in here in this game. If you go to their website, they actually have like partnerships with AMD, Intel, ASRock, Cooler Master, Asus, Corsair, for actual. My actual PC case is in the game, which is super cool. And the case that I wanted to buy is also in there, so I actually got to see the case I wanted to buy and like get to fidget with it, and it makes me regret my decisions.
Real quick, I did notice
Mhm.
they also have NZXT.
NZXT, Lian Li,
Did it
MSI.
catch on fire?
That's what I was just gonna ask. You beat me to it.
I actually looked. I went on the like the shop portion of the game, to see if they had that case in there. I believe this game was made in 2018 or released in 2018. I don't think the H1 was released until 2020 though.
Yeah,
So there's not like updates with newer versions of products. It's all just like everything that was made up until 2018.
I don't know for sure. I know there are some DLCs that you can purchase for. When I first started the game, he was like, I got an email from my uncle Tim, and he said something about a 3080, which is new to 2020. So I would assume that they do update it somewhat, but I'm sure that a lot of that is like focused more on the DLCs, which I don't have.
Yeah.
Another big part of the game is like he is always requesting money from you for a esports venture. Like he's partnering with esports companies. So he'll ask for like $5,000. Like the first one's like $5,000, and he'll give you 10% of the company. The next one's like 7,500. He'll give you another 10% of the company. Which I found odd because at the beginning of it, in the initial email, he's like, "Hey, I'm going away. Take over the shop." It sounded like he's like, "Yeah, it's all yours. Have at it." Because like the shop, like it goes off like a review system, just like any other normal like company, where it's like a 5-star rating. It was like a 1.5, and you had to build it back up to 5-star. So that way you'd actually get customers coming in with like actual good jobs, like build me a PC for $2,000, stuff like that. Another gripe I had though, like the emails that they send, seem like they push a lot of the products a lot. So like Team Group is a company that makes like RAM. They're not relatively like known for like the best quality RAM, but like a lot of the initial first emails were like, I heard Team Group is supposed to be the best, fantastic. Like it felt like they were trying to sell me on Team Group. So
Like it
yeah,
was a product placement almost. More product placement than anything else.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't like horrible. Like it just felt like it was like out of place. It's like, let's be honest, not a lot of people like in the real world they're gonna be like, hey, you see these Team Group RAM sticks? They're the shit. Yeah, everyone's gonna say Corsair or G Skill or something like that. So, but it doesn't seem overly pushy.
Gotcha.
But as I said, it's on Steam right now for $19.99. It is also on GOG, Humble, Switch, PlayStation, Steam, Windows 10, and Xbox. I would very much recommend if you buy this game, try to find it on sale. I don't think $20 just for the base game, I don't think is worth that price tag. I mean, as everything I always say is subjective for that, but
yeah,
me personally, $20 like for this game.
Real quick, according to Steam database, the lowest recorded price for this game is $9.99.
Okay, I would pay $9.99 for it, but not $19.99. $10 is a big difference.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's a big difference, especially when you get down to like those lower. It's like there's like a mental jump that happens between $10 and $20 for me.
Yeah.
Especially when it's like double. You know,
Yeah.
it is double the price. You know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh,
All in all, like as I said, I had fun with this game, especially starting out. Once it started slowing down a little bit at the higher level of like I think like 13, I kind of got bored with it. Because I was doing like the same thing over again. Like they're like, hey, diagnose this. Oh, it's a power supply. Or hey, can you switch the CPU? Or hey, I need my HDD replaced, and my RAM stick replaced. It was just continuously the same things over and over again. Some emails were exactly the same too. Like, I heard Team Group is the best. Like, stop it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else on PC Building Simulator?
No. I mean, if you can catch it on sale or you know in a humble bundle group or some bundle, then it's a good pickup. But don't pay the full price for it.
Cool. Rev,
Hi.
we're to you, baby boo.
Oh, I got to play a thing. Okay, so yeah, branding, right? We're talking about. I got to play a couple of things. Happy's Humble Burger Barn and the Happy's Humble Burger Farm Alpha. Okay, so give a little rundown on how this came to be. I had originally played Happy's Humble Burger Barn, but it turned out I played a slightly older version of the game before Tiny Build partnered with Scythe's dev team to make this new game, Happy's Humble Burger Farm, which is a sequel to Barn. It's a so Barn starts out as a fast food simulator. You get in your car, you drive to work, or you drive your truck to work, your old janky beat up pickup, and you get there, and go in, you turn on the open sign, and everything's done in like this like PS1 aesthetic. And for some reason, PS1 aesthetic horror games always hit different. But you start out, doing your typical fast food jobs, waiting on customers. They come in, they give you money, they tell you what they want, and you have to build it. You have to build it if it's a burger. Everything else, you just go grab it and give it to them. It's cool. You get to just literally throw it in their face holes. It's pretty awesome. Now that game was was free on itch.io. It is. It's a pay what you want on itch.io. And you can actually see the original version and the updated version. The updated version has a couple of little tweaks that tie it in better to Farm. I want to discuss Farm a little more because it's newer and it's still in like alpha. It's in alpha, but it's like they label it as a playable teaser in the game. As you can see in the clip, I just yeet that soda into that guy's mouth hole. It's pretty awesome. But in Farm, this one is going to actually be published by Tiny Build and developed by Scythe Dev Team, and it's a little more in depth. It's you can see right away where it's kind of tying into the story because there's like this big twist ending at the end of Barn, which you need to see. You need to see for yourself. And again, it's on itch.io. Pay what you want. Go play it. It's awesome. And then, yeah. So Farm, you wake up, you go to work at Happy's Humble Burger Farm. The graphics are a little more more smooth, like more closer to like PS2 style than a PS1 style, like that level of like more smooth. But there's more mascots, similar to like how McDonald's has Ronald the Hamburglar. If those of y'all who remember all of this, Grimace, Mayor McCheese. God, I'm really aging myself here. It has multiple mascots similar to that, and come to find out that these different mascots are you're gonna end up having to like do boss fights and stuff. Like they did a devlog video on YouTube recently, and it shows you getting to fight the pig, which kind of feel pissed off that maybe they used my likeness in this game without my permission, but that's neither here nor there. In Farm, you start out going to work. You do have to actually like cook the fries and cook there are 3 different burgers and stuff like that. And there's an infraction system. If you get 3 infractions, this cow chases you. And it's terrifying. It's like Boo in Mario, where you turn and look at it and it doesn't move, but as soon as you turn away, it comes at you, and that stuff gets creepy. And then, of course, at the end of the playable teaser, you kind of get the whole, thank you for playing the teaser, wish list, Happy's Humble Burger Farm. Now, and you kind of only get to do the thing with Happy, and how things get just like trippier as it progresses. It's an absolutely mind-bogglingly weird yet fun little horror adventure, and I'm really excited for the full release to come out. I'm going to be keeping an eye on that. It's slated for sometime later this year. I don't think there's a definitive release date yet, but you could also check them out on Steam and keep up with the devlog to kind of see how the progress of like the game is as it becomes closer to release. If you're into like the kind of survival horror style with a little bit of like weird conspiracy-esque stuff behind it, it's an absolute must check out. Both Barn and the Farm Alpha as it stands now.
Yeah, this game has a weird grungy FNAF-like aesthetic to it, and it's very unsettling and surreal.
Yes, and that's what I'm saying. Like that, like there's a whole genre on itch.io dedicated to what they just call PSX horror, and it's actually funny because whenever you load up the Happy's Humble Burger Barn, the Scythe dev team logo kind of reminisces like the old PlayStation launch, like the PS1 launch screen. And so it's like they knew exactly what they were going for and they nailed it. But yeah, like there's a whole genre of games with that aesthetic, and there's something unsettling about horror in that style. I don't know what it is, but it does. It gives you that kind of like, bro, I was sweating by the end of that game. Like it was like only 50 degrees here. I was like soaked. I was drenched. I was like, it's part fear, part fat, all terror. It's just, but it worked. It worked so well.
Do you think, this is just me spitballing here, but do you think the reason why those games are so unsettling is there's a mixture of nostalgia with it too? Like have you ever seen like that gimmick Twitter, liminal spaces, where right, where it's almost like that, where it's unsettling, like it feels familiar because of the graphics, but it's not, and it shouldn't be, and even if it was something that you're familiar with, you don't remember it being creepy and unsettling, and now it is.
Yes, I think that does play kind of a part in it, especially growing up on those horror games in the PlayStation 1 era. It's like it taps into that like childhood fear that I had, because that's like our generation, like grew up on that like PlayStation 1 era, before moving over to like the PlayStation 2, Xbox 360 or Xbox era, and I think that may be why it does. It taps into that like that childhood, not really, you don't want to say like trauma because that kind of downplays like real trauma, but that childhood memory of being terrified of things. And I don't know, I think it has something to do with the surrealism of it too. Like I don't know, like the fact that maybe it's like, yeah, the graphics are purposefully made to look older, but with their technology they can pull some really weird shit at any moment. I think that plays into it too. It's almost like a building of dread, kind of thing. If I had to guess, like maybe for me, it's so hard because it's a subconscious thing. You can't really pinpoint it, and all you do know is it's weird. And by the time it's all said and done, you're like, oh, I'm glad I played it. And you could do Burger Barn in like a 30-minute run through. Since I played the original and then the updated version, I think I was able to get through it in like 15, 16 minutes. But then Farm took me a little longer. I think Farm took just the alpha for Farm took me like an hour, a little over an hour. And because it's a little more nuanced, and you do also have the fear of that stupid fucking cow chasing you.
The stupid fucking cow.
Her name is Happy the Humble Heifer.
I fucking hated it.
Happy the Humble Heifer, the restaurant's mascot. But for some reason, okay, so I'll give you a little insight to how it happens. Okay, so you come in, you do the first night on Burger Farm. It doesn't really seem like anything's too out of the ordinary. You go home, you go to sleep, and then there's this dream you have where there's just gigantic version of Happy the Humble Heifer walking through a field. And then you go back to work the next day and things are a little more unsettling. The atmosphere and the ambiance just get a little weirder, like just a little weirder, not a whole lot, but a little. You go home that night, go back to sleep. And in that dream, it's dark in that field. Green saw this part. And you're surrounded by these distorted looking Happy the Humble Heifers that are like bent over backwards looking at you. And they look like they have flesh dripping off of them. And it's weird. And like that's where you find out, like every time you look away from one, the ones behind you start like chasing you. And then you wake up And you go into the store, and the happy in the store looks like the one from the dream. And then when you hit 3 infractions, she comes after you. And she will continue to come after you until you make the customer happy. You have to complete the customer's order as it is given to you, and she will not stop chasing you until you do. And if she catches you a certain amount of times, you have to start the day over because it's game over. But you can escape from her because her chest opens up, swallows you, and you starts running away with you. And you have to like mash the space bar to get away. And it was so terrifying because it would just like reality would glitch. You would see glitches, and which makes sense if you play Barn. There's something at the end of Barn that actually kind of leads you into being like, okay, I kind of understand why this is doing this. But like reality will glitch, and she'll be like right there, and you'll be watching her the whole time. And you'll glance away from her for half a second, and reality will glitch, and she won't have run at you, but she will be in a different spot and will come at you if you turn away again. It's I'm getting unsettled again just thinking about it.
That sounds super unsettling.
It was so, oh my god, but still, part of me can't wait for the full game. Like I don't know if they're gonna. I think they're gonna leave it as a teaser for now. Leave just like that one little tidbit as a teaser, and then you can keep up with the devlog if you want to see kind of how they're progressing the game. And then the full game's going to come out later this year, from what I've gathered.
So one question: the devs do know that you don't eat heifers, right?
Oh yeah, well probably. And I've watched enough. If I've watched enough Bob's Burgers to know that it doesn't come from heifers, then I'm sure they have too.
Technically.
Well, no, because here's the other question. That the follow-up question is the mascot just feeding you her ex-husbands?
Could be. You never know. There was this one weird part during the dream where the giant happy was walking through the field just like towards you, where she was missing a hand. Never really got an explanation on why on that, but it was just kind of weird. It's like that she was just missing a hand. I don't know, super weird.
I mean, the game just seems super weird in general. So.
Oh yeah, but it's so good, man. And it's so crazy though to see how much cleaner it got from Burger Barn to Burger Farm. Because like I mean, even if you look at just like for instance, the shirt I'm wearing is the Burger Barn logo, right? And like looks sloppy and gross and greasy, and there's green in it and shit. The Burger Farm logo is like it's like clean and red and looks like a legitimate like company logo. And Happy has she has a blonde hair and lipstick on, and the Happy that's at the front of the door in Barn was just like a cow standing there that in and of itself just looked creepy standing there. I don't know. It is weird to see how much cleaner it got, and I don't know if that was a choice made by the devs or if it was something that is like maybe the audience was like maybe clean it up just a little bit, because Barn was very rough around the edges, and maybe they were able to kind of really get their they were really able to kind of more put their vision out there for what they really want in the game after teaming up with Tiny Build for the publishing and getting maybe the funding to do so. Because like I said, on itch.io, it's a pay what you want on Barn, so a lot of people did it for free. But you can also, I'm not going to sit here and pimp out their stuff too much, but you can go to their site's website, and they have all kinds of cool merch and stuff like that as well. And so maybe that's where they got some of the funding too. I'm not sure, but it is a lot cleaner than Farm is, and it's really well done. The soundtrack's amazing too. Whenever you finish it, there's an actual theme song that sounds like something from like a 90s movie or something that seems kind of epic about it. I don't know. It's super weird, but you can actually find collectibles throughout the actual little, it's not really an open world map, but there are a few places you can kind of go outside of just between your apartment and the restaurant, and hidden in these little nooks and crannies are collectibles, which are CDs that you can play in the restaurant while you're working. I made the mistake of playing the one that sounded creepy, because why the hell not, Rev? Let's play the creepy one. Let's make this a little worse. I mean, if you're gonna shit your pants, shit them hard. I should not have played that CD. It made it so much worse. I was like, I remember. I think in the video, because I recorded it for YouTube, and I think if you go in and you actually watch the video, I go, why the fuck did I pick the scary CD? Why didn't I get the cool one? And you come to find out the CD is actually kind of calming. It's just in the circumstances it is far from that. In the circumstances, it just makes it way worse.
Nice. Green, anything that you wanted to mention for Happy's Humble Burger Barn?
No, I hated it. Anything I saw on it, I hated it.
He saw the funny little TikTok I made. Dude, making just that video, making that TikTok jump scared me again. Because I was editing it like while I was live on TikTok, I was editing it then. And editing it when that happened, I jumped scared again. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with me? I'm not even playing it anymore. I knew it was gonna happen.
Okay, is that all we have on Happy's Humble Burger Barn? That I'm gonna have to pick it up on itch and check it out.
Oh yeah, dude, definitely do it. Yeah, I mean, why not, right? I mean, with what it is, why not?
Exactly, why not? So nothing else on it?
No, just the farm alpha is on Steam. Barn is on itch.io. I want to clarify that yeah, the you pick up the original on itch.io wishlist or play the alpha on Steam.
Dope. I think it's a good time for a break. Anything else before we go to break?
No, I'm good.
All right, guys, stay right there. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Be right back.
Are you a coffee lover? Do you need a little pep in your step in the morning? What about knowing where your coffee comes from? Is that important? Well, try Grampian Roast Coffee on Etsy. That's Grampian, Grampian, and see our selection of single origin and blended coffees. Use code REVSVEN, REVSVEN, at checkout to save 15% off of your purchase.
Wow, I would have to like burp right as I brought us back. We're back. We're ready to go.
I know I am.
So we have quite a bit of news, a lot of news, and I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna get it out right now. It's fucking sexy, guys. It's so sexy. Just the hottest, sexiest news in gaming you can imagine. Like the EU Parliament moving towards laws that are going to give consumers the right to repair. Just fucking rock hard, aroused, ready to go. So the right to repair is something that we haven't really talked about a lot on this show. I'm trying, like, maybe our official next to nothing historian, the Chocolat, can remind us of a time that we've talked about it, but I honestly can't think of a time that we've talked about the idea of the right to repair. Which leads me to say I should probably explain what right to repair means, right? And that is, it's a philosophy that customers should have the right and means to repair the products they purchase, right? You buy a phone, you should be able to access the parts and the knowledge in order to repair that phone. You buy a laptop, you should have the rights and access to the knowledge to be able to repair that laptop. No matter if it's a screen, busted keyboard, trackpad, battery, anything like that, you should have the right to purchase those parts and repair it yourself, or take it to a third party and have it repaired.
Right.
And
John, looking at you, John Deere.
As someone who basically lived off of John Deere money their entire life. Yeah.
You, John Deere.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Senor Juan Deere.
So this is an issue across multiple industries, including phones, like I mentioned, gaming, hardware, cars. It's funny you mentioned John Deere because tractors was also in my list before I said etc. And this not only contributes to customers having to pay more to maintain the things they buy, because a lot of times it's actually stipulated that you have to go to an authorized retailer or an authorized maintenance person to get the issue repaired, but it also contributes to e-waste because sometimes those repairs are often more expensive than the product itself, so it just gets into throwing shit away. Right? I cracked the screen on this phone. It's going to cost more to repair it than to just get a new phone. So I'm just going to toss this fucking phone away. Only thing that's wrong with it is the screen, right? So it's a huge, e-waste in general is a pretty huge issue. There's a lot of ways of combating it. And part of that is repairing things that can be repaired. So the vote from the EU Commission is intended to, quote, develop and introduce mandatory labeling to provide clear, immediately visible, and easy to understand information to consumers on the estimated lifetime and repairability of a product at the time of purchase, end quote. So in which a lot of that is likely to come in the form of a rating system on the packaging. It also, the EU Commission also prescribes an increased availability of repair instructions and spare parts for the use by individual owners and repair shops to facilitate repairs and extend the lifespan of devices. And one thing, as I was researching this particular topic, I got onto an iFixit article that was on this news story, and they actually mentioned that Austria has lowered taxes on repair services, which is pretty dope, right? So to encourage people to repair their devices and their products, they decided that they're going to lower the taxes on those services, which is great for those businesses and for consumers. Fantastic.
Right?
Because I really
the
like
taxes
that.
is only directly affect the governing body, right?
Yep.
So that's pretty awesome. I like that idea.
Yeah, which is kind of like twofold. There's multiple layers to that idea of lowering the taxes on that, because it's also
like an onion.
Yeah, well, because the government, the Austrian government would be responsible for the waste that happens within their country, right? They're the ones who, in the trash have all these fucking batteries, right? They have all these laptop batteries or all these hazardous materials, and they're the ones that have to figure out how to deal with it. Well, if it's not there in the first place, they don't have to deal with it, which is, big brain.
IQ 200.
IQ 200. The EU Commission hasn't actually created the rules and laws yet. They have a 2021 goal of implementation, so hopefully we'll see something concrete and understand all the rules and stuff later. Personally, I hope to see something like this happen in the States. I want to see more things happen in the United States that help consumers maintain the products that they own. there's a place for planned obsolescence, but it also shouldn't be, users and customers shouldn't be locked out of using their products that they legally purchased because the company wants to lock them out of it. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's ethical. I also don't think it should be legal. That's just my personal opinion on that. We'll go to you, Green. What do you think?
Well, I think it's a great idea. I mean, if it's something that you purchased, I feel like you have every right to work on it. And I don't feel like companies should hinder people from actually working on their own products, their own property, I should say. And honestly, it's really just a scheme for them to buy more of their products. I mean, that's why they make cars that don't last very long or cell phones that crack easy. It's because people will just buy new ones because at the end of the day, it's cheaper to just buy a new one than replace the old one. So yeah, I think it's definitely something we should have a right to repair.
There's
100%.
something real interesting that you mentioned there, right? Is the change of ownership, right? That happens. Sure, when the phone might be designed by Apple, but Apple sells that to a retailer. That retailer sells it to me. Right? The good has been transferred over and the ownership is mine. So I should be able to do with, I understand warranties and stuff like that, right? And yeah, what needs to happen is these companies need to open up this is a whole other issue that I know YouTuber Louis Rossman talks about all the time, but like Apple authorized maintenance or retailers, whatever. Basically, first off, they're kind of junky at those Genius bars. But there's also the fact that third parties can't get authorized to work on it, so it avoids your warranty. Well, they should open that up. And I think that's another part of right to repair that probably needs to be discussed more because it's my product. I should be able to take it to whoever I want to get it worked on. Mm-hmm. I own it. Why do I have to go to Apple's dealer in order to do that? Same thing with John Deere. Again, someone who's lived off John Deere money their entire fucking life. Thanks, Mom. It's
it was a pain in the ass to deal with, man. Like as a retailer, because I was the department manager for the inside lawn and garden area of Lowe's, and so we sold John Deere, and they come with warranties. But anytime somebody would bring them back to us, we would have to transfer them to one specific location, while all of our other repairs went to just a general small engine repair shop. All of our John Deere had to go somewhere else, and it cost it cost the store like twice the money to process the warranties on that. It's insane.
Yeah.
Even for something like changing a belt, like what?
Yeah. So, Rev, do you have anything that you want to add here?
So I can understand the idea of it voiding a warranty if they don't trust something to be done right, because if they can't trust that third party repair shop to do it right, then they have to keep paying out the warranty, right? Like over and over. But my issue inherently lies with the fact that they make them so unrepairable at the base level where I can't go in and change something simple, that everything has to be done through these exclusive deals. Like maybe even do something where it's like, okay, something as simple as changing a screen or whatever, something that doesn't have to necessarily be done by a specialist in the area, can be done by somebody else. But like maybe do a lot more of like the internal works have to maybe be done through a licensed actual shop or something. I don't know. It's like I can see why these rules were implemented, but almost like every good road to hell being paved with good intentions, it kind of got twisted into just being another profit scheme. And so I don't know, like I can understand why they started the whole, void the warranties, they have to be at this one particular place. But now it's just like, okay, how can we get the most money out of these people knowing that the shit's going to break at some point?
Yeah. Well, and I wouldn't even mind, like, look, if I broke the screen on my phone right now, I wouldn't mind just having to go to the Apple website to order the part. But you can't. I don't think you can do that, right? I don't think you
Yeah,
can just
right.
order the part, which is a big part of this, where it's like, yeah, I need to get a new iPhone X screen.
Mhm.
Let me buy that and then take it, either replace it myself. I don't know. I don't know if you can just outright buy it from the Apple store or from
No,
the
I don't
Apple
think you can.
e-commerce.
Yeah, and I don't even know if that's even just an Apple thing. Like, I know you have to kind of go digging even to get Samsung stuff too, you know?
I'm
And
gonna
it's just,
see if I can. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
but yeah, yeah, that needs to be able to be available, like getting the parts. Because I mean, that's something that's different with a lot of like car parts and stuff like that. You know, yeah, maybe you can't replace it yourself, but if you go and buy the part and then take it to a shop, you're going to save a lot of money because of how much they upcharge the process of them getting the parts for you. And so if you can at least just buy the parts separately somewhere and then take them in and not have to worry about it. But this whole like hands-off approach has got to be, there's got to be something done about that.
So I just looked it up for my phone, and I can find a screen with all sorts of tools from iFixit for $89.99. An OLED screen.
But they're all through like third party. They're all through like third party websites, right?
Yeah, which the only one I would trust would be iFixit. Personally, that's just. I know a lot of people. I think you have your own iFixit, right? Is that your kit right there? Green? Yeah. I don't know. Just a lot of people that I know just a lot of people that I know and trust, and a lot of influencers that I know that I trust have iFixit.
Oh, I love this set. I love this set. Yeah, I think it's the Mako, which is like $39.99. I think. I mean, which is relatively expensive for like just a standard 64-bit driver set. But I mean, it's quality. Like it's a quality aluminum driver. It feels good in the hand. The case is massive quality. I like that the foam on the inside is like perfect. It's never like warped or anything like that. And the cover is magnetic, which is fantastic. So I do like. I'm not sponsored. Hashtag not sponsored. Feel free to sponsor me. I fix it, but
Hashtag
I love
yet.
this. I love this. I love this kit. So I've built like 3 computers with this kit. I've done random other shit with this kit. It's worth it in my mind.
Yeah, which we're gonna do a show at some point suggesting tools and the like for people, especially if you're interested in maintaining PCs and stuff like that. That is actually something that we're gonna be doing at some point. So look out for that. But yeah, in terms of the EU, again, nothing solid yet, nothing concrete. They have a 2021 goal. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. If it's anything that can be implemented here in the States, I'm hoping that some of the states will start doing it, and maybe that'll influence other states in our union here to do it. Maybe Canada can do it too. If Canada starts, then they have to do it here. We'll see.
Right, be the trendsetter.
Come on, Canada, get North America rolling on that.
Let's go, Chaco. Need your help here.
Anything else on the right to repair in the EU Parliament stuff right now?
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
Again, guys, just the sexiest fucking topics here on the podcast. We have a proposed law in Arizona, which is more of kind of an update on the ongoing Apple versus Epic war. Something which we haven't really talked about in a while because it's sort of been, I don't know, most of the updates we see aren't very exciting updates, to say the least. So in Arizona, legislators have proposed a new set of regulations that could go in Epic's favor in this matter, which to me seems to be maybe by design a little bit, because of Epic's lobbying power here. So real quick, a quick refresher on the Epic and Apple situation. Epic is suing Apple for the right to take payments directly from their customers by bypassing the 30% Apple tax for all purchases being made on iOS devices. Google is also involved in this for the same policy they have been implementing on the Google Play Store. Epic tried to circumvent this, but ended up getting Fortnite banned from iOS and Android devices, which seemed to be their desired effect because it looked like it was lawsuit bait on Epic's part, and they started a lawsuit with Apple on the grounds of antitrust. So now back to Arizona. The new regulation was passed by the House with backing from Epic's Coalition for App Fairness, which includes Epic, Spotify, and the Match Group, and would demand that app companies based in the state with more than 1 million downloads per year be optionally exempt from the Google and Apple tax. So basically, this company is based in Arizona. They have 1 million downloads a year. According to Arizona state law, if this would be passed, this is the hypothetical. According to Arizona state law, Apple and Google, you have to let them directly take payments from customers without you taking your 30% cut. It would basically be the goal of this law. As I mentioned, the coalition was obviously involved in this and put out a statement saying that they support the bill, obviously, and it, quote, encourages business innovation in Arizona and protects consumer choice. All the sources I saw failed to get a comment from Apple and Google. They instead just pointed to statements they've said already in relation to this particular issue. So that's the proposed bill. It still needs to get passed by the Arizona State Senate and signed by the Arizona Governor Ducey before it becomes official. So it's still got some ways to go and some hurdles. I'm going to go to Rev on this. How do you feel?
Oh, I don't know, man. I'm getting to the point now where I'm just like, it's kind of like The Walking Dead. It's gone on too fucking far. Let's just wrap it up, call it a day with this epic Apple noise. Let's get a solution and let's move on to the next series. You know, like I don't know. It's just, I mean, I'm with the idea of kind of bringing down the big guy, but at the same time, it's just like, you know, it boiled back down to, in the beginning of all of this, Epic broke the store's TOS, right? Like they did. So why are we still pushing on this? You know, like, and I was siding on Epic with all this at the beginning, but it's just like, I don't know, man. I think this whole thing needs to be put to rest. Needs to figure something out and just move on.
Yeah. Green. As a potential Arizona resident, what do you think is it?
Yeah. So one thing that's bugging me with this whole thing is the name of the coalition is called the Coalition for App Fairness, right? So how is it fair that if a company was based in Arizona and they had a 1 million download per year capita, why would they be the ones exempt from the tax? Like, I feel like this should be more geared to creators that don't have as much downloads. Like, because let's face it, the ones with the 1 million plus downloads a year are going to be the apps that are like big name, multi-million-dollar app companies like Epic, or Zanga is another one that have that, you know, the products that get million plus downloads a year.
When has any new proposal helped the small guy, though? You know,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's like the same
problem.
ongoing thing, like just in general, like even beyond this whole thing, it's just like the same thing. Like, let's help the big guys. You know, let's help the rich stay rich and the poor die.
It just sounds like Epic is just like whining, like,
eat the rich.
I make 1 million downloads. I make like $5 billion a year. I didn't want to pay 30% on this. This is bullshit. While you got some guy who's like trying to, you know, do his hustle and build an app on his computer in his living room because he doesn't have a fucking job because COVID fucked him up, and you know he's getting a few thousand downloads a year on these apps and actually making a decent amount of money, but you know that tax exemption is not going to hit him. No.
Rip the rug right out from under him.
Exactly. Like that's not fairness. That's not fairness in my eyes.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I'm very much with you on that, Green. And there's another part of me here that I'm really fucking conflicted on this, because this is a local government deciding what's going to dictate between two companies that aren't even like headquartered in Arizona, right? Like Arizona is like stepping into this and being like, well, and it's an obvious ploy by Arizona to try to get these larger companies to headquarter there, right? Which I don't even know if it would necessarily work for them, because these companies already have massive offices in other states and other places. So it's just like, yeah, they're going to put up a shell company in Arizona. And it seems like the whole idea was designed exactly by the coalition to support the coalition's whole case, and they're trying to and it feels like this is all designed in case Epic loses this lawsuit, which could take another like year and a half, right? Like this, it feels, everything about this feels fucking fishy.
I'll be honest with you though, like, with my personal experience with Arizona, like a lot of the lawmakers don't even know what the fuck is going on with this thing. Like, they're making it sound cool, like the coalition's making it sound cool, and probably shuffling some money around, because midterms are coming up. So, I'm not saying it's an age thing, but it's kind of an age thing.
Yeah. Well, like talking about the shell companies thing, I mean, you're going to end up getting a lot of these companies put a quote unquote headquarters building in Arizona, just taking up real estate and not actually providing any jobs, because they're going to have like 5 or 6 office people working while all the actual development is taking place in cool places where there's shit to do. Like, and it's going to end up it's just going to end up drying up real estate, and they're going to be just using it to loophole the system, and that's it. These big companies are just going to set up shop with essentially an empty building, just so they can circumvent these taxes.
Yeah, it smells of lobbying. Like, it smells of like a shit.
Quite fishy.
Yeah, it smells of cheap cologne and cigar smoke in a back room.
You want to know why it smells fishy? Because they've got oceanfront property in Arizona. Okay.
Absolutely. And this isn't knocking Arizona, because I like Arizona. I've been in there several times. Eventually gonna be moving to Arizona. So, like, Arizona itself is not bad. I've heard some horror stories about their political parties.
You're gonna hear that anywhere you go.
Yeah. So
you think about it.
Yeah. Which, no offense to American Riot, the game Deflators, my buddy Lone Spirit, all the other
bunch
people.
Of my buddies live in Arizona.
Yeah.
No offense, like 4 to you friends guys out there.
Yeah.
But fuck your politicians.
If they do put like a headquarters in, I hope it's like in Sun City, which is like the nursing home of Phoenix. It would be great, because like no one would bother them. They're like, what is this new building up? What's an Epic, and why do they play on the internet? So I don't understand. It'll be great.
So on a related note here, it's not super it's not specific to Arizona here. The UK Competition and Markets Authority has started an investigation into anti-competitive behavior, and will specifically be focusing on the payment system for Apple. Quote, several developers reported that Apple's terms and conditions are unfair and could break competition law, the agency said. That's really all there is on that. They're just starting the investigation. I'll be looking out for that story once it's fully released. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen in the UK, because as we've seen, the UK doesn't seem to fuck around with these newfangled companies.
I like that Danie's constantly keeping his eyes out for these full releases.
I think like one of the biggest things though, like for especially people who are watching us live on Twitch, this does affect the people who watch it on mobile, because like Twitch has an insane markup on like bits and subscriptions, and that is due to the tax from Play and the Apple App Store.
Yeah,
yeah.
We keep saying tax.
full disclosure real quick, when he says it's an
Percentage.
insane markup, it is not an exaggeration. That
It's
markup
30%.
is absolute. Yeah, it's insane.
It's-
Well, like, because it's $4.99 for a tier 1 sub, $5.99 on mobile. You can get 100 bits for $1.40 on desktop, or 95 bits for $2 on mobile.
Mhm.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Also, I know I'm guilty of this. We keep saying tax. It's not a tax. I call it the Apple tax. It's really more of a fee. It's a servicing fee that Apple and Google charge for making a purchase on an iOS device. Because in Apple and Google's eyes, well, Google for Google Play and Android, in their eyes, they're the ones generating the leads for the sales that are being made on the device, right? Without that,
I do have to say though, 30% is pretty fucking steep.
it is. Yeah.
It's pretty. I mean, I get it. Like, I get why like these companies are having issues, but I'm not really like focusing on Epic. I'm more concerned for the people who are getting super discouraged because they made this fantastic fucking app and aren't getting as many downloads, but like it's still a fantastic fucking app, and they're having to cut in Google or Apple for that 30%.
Yeah.
It's huge. Like,
yeah.
I get it. Like, I get it, because like I'm also now officially an entrepreneur, so I understand that. I get that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it hurts smaller developers more than it hurts larger developers. And if I can just say real quick, because right as I was mentioning, like Apple and Google feel that they're the ones making the leads because they're buying it on their devices, right? Oh, without that device, they wouldn't be buying it. I think that's a flawed look at what's actually happening, because people are buying something because they're probably advertised to it on a different service and not because they have an Android or an iPhone. You just lock people into having to get the game or the app through your store, so you're not actually generating the lead. So it's kind of a disingenuous take. I know that's going to be their defense, that they're generating a lead for these app developers, and so therefore they deserve the 30% fee, but that's not actually what's happening.
And to follow up with that, like, Google does allow for emulators on Android devices. Apple does not. And if you wonder why, that's why.
Yeah.
Cha-ching, cha-ching. Because you can get any ROM online to put on the emulator. You just have to download the emulator, which doesn't cost anything for Android devices. Whereas Apple, if they can't control that ROM, they're not going to give you access to the emulator. I mean, you can unlock your phone or hack into your phone to put it on there, but then that voids the warranty, which goes back to the
right to repair.
last thing with right to repair.
Okay. Anything else on this proposed law in Arizona?
No.
The next thing we kind of discussed last week, that Nintendo and Sony were having problems with their joysticks, and apparently nobody can make a fucking game controller, because now Xbox Series X is having issues with buttons being unresponsive. Specifically, apparently the yellow Y button is being unresponsive. A lot of people are experiencing this issue. It's apparently a holdover from the Xbox One model of the controller. And Microsoft has put out a statement on this. Quote, "At Microsoft, we put all of our products through rigorous quality assurance testing and are committed to providing customers with an unparalleled gaming experience. We are aware some players may be experiencing unresponsiveness with their new Xbox wireless controllers, and our teams are actively working on a solution. For the best experience, we encourage customers to visit Xbox support for assistance." As far as I've been able to tell, no known solutions for customers right now, but you might be able to get a new controller under warranty, assuming you didn't void the warranty by trying to repair it yourself.
You get for trying to fix your buttons. God damn it. You do not have the right to repair your own controller. Knock it off. Use the warranty.
Sure.
It's a circle.
Bringing
Vicious
it back.
And we're back, baby.
And we're back. So yeah, that's that. I mean, it's just mostly worth mentioning, especially if you're looking at getting an Xbox Series X controller for your PC or something. Maybe wait.
You know how to avoid that issue with the controllers having, sticky buttons or messed up joysticks?
Stop jerking off on them.
Build a
Stop
PC
keystringing
and use keyboard and mouse.
Oh, I was gonna say, were you gonna tell us to stop shoving?
Sticking it up your ass.
Stop Joy-Conning yourself.
Yeah, stop shoving the fucking controller up your ass, you fucking degenerates. Anything else on that one?
Nah, that's just, I think that's just like one of those little tidbits that it's just worth mentioning.
Yeah, a bit of a buyer beware.
Yeah. Beware.
Beware. Do you guys like Rumors?
I fucking love Rumors. Fleetwood Mac's best album, dude. One of my favorite albums of all time, actually. I mean, you got to think it had what is it? It had Gold Dust Woman on it. It had The Chain. We're not talking about music, are we?
No. We're talking about AMD crypto cards. Because apparently it's never enough, and it looks like AMD is about to announce their own crypto mining cards built on Navi, which is their bid to potentially free up cards for average consumers. The rumors stem from driver updates found by Tom's Hardware, and it references Navi 12 GPU that it's only been available in certain Apple machines and Pro rendering machines. The card will lack video output and would only be used for mining, at least in theory. I was going to ask Green how he felt, but he's apparently got his headphones off and doing his hair.
So while he's doing that, I want to go ahead and drop this real thing.
My head is hurting.
I wanted to say real quick, it's still to this day, the Fleetwood Mac Rumors line from Flight of the Conchords is one of the funniest fucking lines in all of television history, and nobody can convince me otherwise. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. Just look up Flight of the Conchords, Fleetwood Mac. It's on YouTube. Do
it. Green, what are you thinking about this?
It's not gonna, like they say, to help free up cards for average consumers, but they're taking away the production of those average cards for those average consumers and putting it it's splitting resources, and it doesn't fucking work. I don't understand it. Fuck data miners.
The only thing that I can honestly see how this would work in terms of freeing up space would be that these were cards that just weren't purchased or sold already, right? Like AMD just had this stock of these Navi 12 GPUs that were intended for something else, and then we could just turn them into crypto mining cards. That's the only way I could see that, because the infrastructure, or these cards are the Navi 12 and weren't intended for gamers or average consumers. These were for either Apple products or big rendering rigs that were probably designed by engineering firms or movie studios or something like that, right? So that's the only way I could see it being just taking this stock of things that they just weren't selling. For one reason or another.
Still have to work on them. They'd still have to adjust them to the data mining, which would take time. Still would take time and resources, workers, to actually do this. I feel like they should just be more focused on the cards that they are trying to sell to consumers.
Yeah, and again,
pump those bitches up.
This is just unsubstantiated. I mean, I guess not unsubstantiated rumors, but these are unconfirmed rumors as far as I can tell. And I agree with you. Right, if it's not that they had this stock of Navi 12 cards that were destined for something else, and they're just going to route those into mining cards, then every single one of these CMPs that they're going to produce could have been a graphics card. So why ruin your supply of graphics cards by producing CMPs? Especially,
and you ditch the CMP thing and go directly to consumers. Guess who wins in the long run?
Yeah,
because the old other teams over there talking about crypto bros and releasing shit early, and it's like, oh no, but we care about you, the consumer. But which still may be the case, again, unsubstantiated Fleetwood Mac albums.
So yeah, that's kind of where that's at. I haven't seen an actual release yet, so we'll see. Again, rumors, potential AMD crypto card. It's not concrete yet, but it might be soon. So yeah, anything else on the AMD crypto cards, CMPs?
No, not until we find out whether it's 100% true or not. Then we can really start talking shit.
Yeah. Green, anything for you?
Not on the cards, no.
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 Were you something else that you wanted to mention?
Oh, Apex's new event started today.
Oh yeah, and then it's also available on the Switch now.
It is also available on the Switch as of today. And then they have a new, I think it's called the Takedown Takedown event.
Oh, they got a Takedown back?
They put it like a new area in Kings Canyon, like the caustic area. I think Bangalore has a heirloom now. It's like a kukri knife.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. And then there's like, y'all like remember OG Players Unknown Battleground?
Mm-hmm.
Same concept.
Wait, hold on.
Recycled.
You kind of froze up there for a second.
Yeah.
You said
They had the red zones from PUBG. They recycled that idea, and they have that in Apex now. In this event, where there's like areas that are like rings that hurt you, like as if it were the outside ring.
And then they also instituted the heat shields.
Yeah, they do have. You do drop with 2 heat shields, and then you can, like, if you use them, you can pull them off dead bodies and stuff like that. But still, it's essentially the red zone.
You cut out one last time there. You said it's essentially the red zone. It's
like the red zone from PUBG.
There
it's not
you
just
go.
your mic, your whole connection's going down.
Yeah.
And like spurs, like mic and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought the heat shields was an interesting idea. I think that's really going to make like the pro league stuff a lot more interesting because of how many people like end up at the like in the end when the ring completely shrinks, and like 90% of the time the last group ends up dying to the ring because they're all just standing in the ring, and it's like, well, whoever has the least amount of health, they're just screwed. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be interesting to see how these heat shields come into play. And then you can also in that same aspect, in that one slot that's specifically reserved for that type of item, that's where you put your mobile respawn beacons now too, if I remember correctly.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it could be.
So like you can carry 1 heat shield and 1 mobile respawn beacon if you want in that spot without taking up regular inventory. I hear it's in the keister. Cool. Yeah, that's where you store them.
Yeah. Right in the boom boom.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
also, sorry, Warzone. If anyone of our people watching likes Warzone still, apparently there are rumors that Verdansk will be changing dress on Thursday, the 11th. Unconfirmed, but apparently there's a whole bunch of voice lines about zombies overrunning Verdansk and possibly a nuke. So that's something to keep an eye on this week as well.
Interesting.
Is it possible they're going to be bringing back elements from the Black Ops Battle Royale?
They did the Halloween special that had like a zombies mode where you became a zombie and then you could actually kill yourself. I think this might be a map change, possibly, or just like either a full map change or to change the layout of the map. And as I said, these are unconfirmed rumors. A lot of stuff has been on TikTok lately, but like mainly the pickup lines are saying like exfil's not coming, you're on your own and stuff like that. So my thought process is that they're gonna drop a nuke on the map and it's gonna change like the layout of the map, especially with like water warfare, because like last battle pass, you got a skin for a gunboat that said it could be used in Black Ops, Cold War, and Warzone, but there is no gunboats in Warzone. So I'm thinking that was like a precursor hint that there's going to be more water in the map, and you're going to actually have to use, it for transportation. So that's just my thought, my theory.
Dope. Anything else before we wrap up the show?
No.
Green, what's going up on your channel?
I just want to see if this is true in Warzone, so I'm probably going to be playing a lot of Warzone for the rest of the rest of the week. I might be playing some Apex as well. I'm thinking about maybe jumping back into Destiny for a little bit as well. So you can catch that all on twitch.tv/Mr. Green Elite. I'm also on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all the fancy things, all at Mr. Green Elite.
Excellent. Padre.
Hi. I'm going to be actually doing a pre-release event with Side Night and Happiness tomorrow. Side Night and Happiness is an online daily comic that has been around for a long time, put out by Explosum, and they've released a game that they pretty much just developed solo. Like there was another game called Rapture Rejects that was kind of like they had a hand in, but this is like their first full-on game. It's called Freak Apocalypse. And it's actually going to be published through Serenity Forge, who also did the game Never Song, which I believe I covered on the show a while back, actually. So I'm going to be doing that tomorrow at noon Central. And then I'm probably going to continue playing that until I get through it, because it's going to be released in parts. And part 1 is what releases tomorrow. I think it's going to come out in 3 parts. So that's going to be the first thing up. I'm going to also be putting some gameplay of it on YouTube the following day, because it releases the following day. And I'm going to be giving away 3 game keys during the stream tomorrow. Aside from that, I think I'm going to be doing some more Monster Prom stuff, because that game is hysterical. I'm going to be doing that a little bit more. And then after I finish, after I completely finish up Freak Apocalypse, I'm going to finally, I think, dive into Little Nightmares 2. Been waiting to play it for a little while now, but I've had some things come up that have just maybe not really get into it yet. So Little Nightmares 2 is probably coming pretty quick. Also keep an eye on my YouTube, where I am now a YouTube partner, because I got some really cool stuff I can't really talk a lot about right now coming, which is going to be good stuff. Especially if you're a burly hairy dude that likes organic, hygienic stuff. Anyways, aside from that, you can find me everywhere. Twitch.tv/RevSven, YouTube.com/RevSven, and then all socials you can find me at RevSvenTV, or you can just go to mylinks.gg/RevSven and find all my stuff there, including Grampian Roast Coffee with the code RevSven, 15% at checkout, #ad.
Excellent. Coming up on my channel, I got invited to a private Pixelmon server, so I'm going to be playing a lot of Pixelmon for a little while. That's a Minecraft mod where you get to basically, do Pokemon. So that's going to be coming up on my channel for a while. I will be putting out a tweet seeing what the next single-player game I should play will be, and I also put out a survey in the Discord. I have a couple in my Steam catalog that need to get played still, so keep a lookout for that. If you guys want to be involved in that decision-making process, you guys can find me on Twitter at DANIECAE. Also find me on Instagram there. And you can also join my Discord if you're interested. If you need an invite, go on ahead and send me a DM on Twitter. One thing that I did not mention last week that we started doing was I have a challenge out to my community. If I can get 650 followers by the end of this month, I will have to drink the juice out of 1 can of Vienna sausages. I will open up the can on stream, pour it into a glass, and drink it.
Nut.
So if you guys want to see me do that, come on over, follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/DanieK. Drop a follow, and it's got to be by the end of the month. Once April 1st rolls around, right? April 1st, midnight rolls around, and I'm not at 650 followers. I'm sorry, it's not happening. You gotta get it. I've got to hit 650 followers by March 31st at 23:59. For those on 20. For those CST, I'll even clarify CST. 23:59 CST is when it's got to happen. Other than that, guys, I think that's going to wrap up the show. We appreciate all of you guys for watching and listening. It really does mean a lot to us that you guys take the time to enjoy the show. If you guys want to help support the show, there's a couple ways you can do it. You can like, subscribe on YouTube. You guys can follow us all on our social medias and on Twitch. And also you can leave a comment. And this week we do have a question of the week, which is strawberry or grape jelly for your PB&Js. Go on ahead and answer that in the YouTube comments if you want to help support the show. That's one way to do it. But the top tier, number one way to help the show, help support us, is by telling your friends. If we've given you any value today, hopefully you guys want to share us with your friends. And it means the world to us if you do. And let me also mention, real quick, that if you do want a shout out, you don't have to troll. You don't have to troll people. You don't have to do like a chargeback on Twitch. Just share the show and tag me. You'll get a shout out. I promise. Guaranteed. 100% guaranteed you'll get a shout out on the show if you share the show.
Shout you out with that beardless face, that imposter beardless face.
Yeah.
Gross.
So yes, if you guys missed any part of the show, you can find us and listen to on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and everywhere podcasts are found. On that, go out and enjoy the beautiful weather that we've been having lately. Stay safe. Keep fighting the good fight, and we'll talk to you guys again next week. Bye.
Love you.
Mwah.